Part 6. So part 5 ended because of whatever wizard is actively involved in my phone, and I don't want them in there. But anyway, part 6. So basically, Satan has a special hatred for women. And keep in mind, Satan cannot create a human being. So basically, instead of God being in the vessel, right? His words, his spirit, Satan wants to be in the vessel. And so to rape women is to show that Satan is in your heart or entered into you. And one, you're dishonoring your own body, right? Which you're supposed to keep sacred or treat with respect. And you're dishonoring that woman's body, and you're defiling yourself and that woman. So winning, there's no such thing as winning a war by raping women and children. No war in history has ever been won by raping women and children. So, and Muhammad, he read the Torah and the letters in the New Testament. And so basically, you can read it too, if some of you haven't done so already, and really understand what God's will is. If he gave the 10 commandments is for us to exist peacefully with one another on earth, with God, and with our own self. So if he wants us to exist in peace, raping a woman or a child, how does that bring about peace? Right? Now the person is going to be thinking on this when they should be thinking on the things that are lovely, just, pure, and true, or to be thinking on God. Now they have to spend time, remembering that. And so that is never a tactic. God never gave anybody that as a solution to an issue against his people or for war or to win a war. So that needs to stop. And I said this before, I believe there should be no subjugation going on. No Jacob and Esau, like the Muslims and the Muslim Jews and Arabs are supposed to be Esau, and the unorthodox or Orthodox Jews or contemporary Jews who identify as an Israeli, they're supposed to be Jacob. Please stop. Not all Israel. That all needs to stop. Not all Israel is Israel. Okay? And with that in mind, it's good to seek God before retaliating or seeking vengeance, right? And to see how you should handle things according to God's spirit, whether you should bear or forbear or forgive or pursue. And with that all said, that will help people to avoid making a big mistake and having to pay for it, right? And God has been trying to spare Mr. Netanyahu several times for being someone who would have to pay for what the international courts would consider genocide. And so he needs to stop. And whoever it is that wants to push this agenda of kill them first or whatever it is, that needs to stop. There can be a leadership within Israel where Muslim Jews, Arabs are not mixed Israeli, because the region is mixed. Hamas, they're mixed, okay? They came up with this identity. Someone during the 1900s or somewhere around that, came up with this idea that the region is called Palestine. And no, whatever records of history, either in the region, for example, in Syria or wherever, the place is called Israel. Okay? It's known to be Israel, right? The people of Israel were there. Now, because of sin or famine or war, they were in and out of the region. They migrated, or some would stay. There was a remnant that would stay, some would leave, some would come back. At the end of the day, we are at a point where we have knowledge, and God gives us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And that helps us to walk in life and peace. So, therefore, with that, there should be no war in the region. You should see each other as brethren, right? It should be, no one should be stealing a Muslim Jew's home. None of that.